Hi everybody and welcome to this Pro Division qualifying round -18 playthrough for the City Outskirts Tournament. We have eagles on every hole to show you plenty of great opportunities to drop some shots here for this tournament. Please hit thumbs up on the video, it helps me out massively, and make sure you're subscribed as well. Totally free to do so. Also, if you're playing up in Expert, then check out my qualifying round walkthrough there as well. That will be available on the channel homepage. Replays and adjustments for all 9 holes coming up right now. Here we go. Hole number 1, I recommend you go with a berserker, otherwise you may have to go with a lot of full shaky needle overpower after pushing up to max. So with a berserker, extra mile 6 plus 28 with the extra mile 8. We're going with 4.5 top spin, 2 right spin. That will be at max with the extra mile 6 and 7. Bullseye centered on the island. Adjust very carefully here down the face of that cliff. Max plus 10, power 5. Then I leave it where it is. I don't push up to max. Going with a slower needle. Like I said, power 3 ball might work. You would need to push back up to max afterwards and then go with full overpower. So more difficult to hit perfect, but we want the second bounce in the rough there, rolling out with the top spin somewhere before the fringe and the green, 359 to 365 yards. Then we're going to play an end bringer school wedge, and if you have a similar drive distance to me, this is going to be around 65-70% on the slider, but always check yourself. The no spin method, if you don't know this method, check out my academy tutorial on the quickfire end bringer school. No spin, find a good landing point though. There are glitch spots on this green, so if you see that ball guide flicker around before you can get it to the hole in a consistent place, then I would suggest you apply 2 bars of left spin and try and kind of circumvent that glitchy area. So make sure there's no glitch spots around when you find your position, 20% elevation, and the slider is of course how the pin stands in between your ball and maximum distance of club. It should be around 70% slider, but always measure yourself. Hole number 2, we're going to play with a katana and the extra mile on the left hand side of the fairway because of the wind direction. 4.5 top spin, 3 bars side spin to the left, so add spin first. Then with the extra mile we're going to have the blue ring touching the rough on the left, and the yardage is +3, top of +3 with extra mile 8. That will be +5 with the extra mile level 6 or level 7. Max +10 is the adjustment, power 2 settings, even though we're not at max distance. And then we're going to go with inner wall curl to the left and then hit perfect. Great balls could be trouble here depending on club accuracy because the fairway is quite narrow and we're playing a very narrow line on the shot, but a perfect ball there and a well set up drive will get you to around 340 to 345 yards. Next shot we're going to play rings from min with the Grizzly. So find the minimum distance line first. Once we've added spin, it's going to be 1/2 bar of top spin and 3 bars side spin to the right to get around any glitchy areas. Then we're finding minimum distance line and counting the number of rings it takes me to have the red ring touching the rough with the ball guide just through the hole. It is 2% slider, give or take, per ring from min. There are some charts available. We have a tutorial on rings from min, and also check out the Golf Clash Rings Bible tutorial. Both of those have good links on where you can find these charts. It's 0 elevation, but it's power 1 settings. If you don't want to count rings from min, then you could estimate yourself and go minimum distance plus 0.2 or 0.1, depending how near you are to min distance. But it's always best if you can measure yourself. But the rough bump there is the best chance for an eagle on hole 2. Now on hole number 3 we're going to play a slightly conservative drive with the quarterback because I don't want to roll too far. Going with a katana, and then we're going to set up with the spin as follows: 3 top spin and 3 bars side spin to the right, and it's going to be the red ring touching the rough on the right, and we are going at the top of +5 yards with the quarterback level 9 and 10. Quarterback 7 and 8, that will be the top of +9. then we are going to adjust max plus 10. Bear in mind, with a lower level quarterback, you may want to use a kingmaker to prevent you from adjusting into overpower. So max plus 10, then no curl, no overpower, just centre the ball and hit perfect. The spin and the wind direction will do the rest of the work for you. Takes the ball very nicely down the fairway, and we're going to write down our drive distance here as we need it for the second shot. 327 yards. Reason I don't want to push the drive too far is because I want to use the sniper fairly close to min distance. 1.1 top spin there, and we're going with 1 bar side spin to the right. I'm doing a distance check with the red ring there. If you want to use that as well instead of drive yardage, you can do, but we're setting up with the red ring touching the rough, and the ball guide there you can see just through the hole and favouring ever so slightly the right half of the cup. Try and be as accurate as you can there. For a drive distance of 327 yards, I will play 25% slider minus 10% elevation. This shot plays uphill. 2% per yard difference. So if you drove less yards, 325 for instance, you're going to be further away, so you would play 29% slider instead. More information on that once again on the Academy tutorial playlists. Perfect ball away, great to safe either side, and we roll in beautifully, glancing the pin and falling for the eagle on hole 3. Hole 4 is one of the tougher par 4s in this set to get an eagle on. We're going to drive with the rock for the ball guide and accuracy. 2 top spin, 3 bars side spin to the left. Then I'm setting up here at the top of plus 8 yards with the rock level 7, with the clear ring touching the rough on the right hand side. Ball guide as shown. Rock level 8, rock level 9 will have different start points. It's plus 3 with the rock level 8, plus 2 with the rock level 9. The adjustment is max plus 10, power 3. Kingmaker here is really needed to control the wind on both the drive and the second shot. And then we hit perfect, and this is going to be a consistent drive. Take care not to add any unwanted overpower here. We don't want to catch a glitch roll, but this one steadies very nicely. We have room as well for a great left and great right. Drive distance 316 yards. Second shot with the sniper. This one is fairly tough. We're going to go with 4 backspin and 2 bars right spin. Add the spin first, and then we're going to set up as shown. The ball guide intentionally 1 green square to the right of the pin. It is level with the pin as well. Make sure you offset 1 green square to the right. That's because the wind is going to push us a fair amount to the left here in this wind angle. Landing position adjustment plus 7 yards with the sniper 9. That will be plus 5 with the sniper 10. It is going to be 84% slider, 20% elevation. We need quite a bit of elevation here for the crosswind, even with the offset of the ball guide. Lower level snipers may struggle here. You might need to push up or play with a higher power ball, but we drop it very nicely with that 1 green square offset adjustment as shown on hole number 4 for the eagle. Quick break here to remind you all there will be a special end of season 53 live stream event on the channel Sunday the 23rd of October in the evening UK time. Join in, say hello in the chat, ask me some questions about the gameplay or game in general if you want to. Your chance to interact with me live. There'll be polls, there'll be a couple of giveaways, and there will be a special guest as well. Loads of stuff coming up on that live stream. It's already scheduled on the channel, so go over there and set yourself a reminder. Sunday, 23rd of October. There's a number of ways you can play hole number 5. You can go all out and go to wedge range as I do here, or you can lay up and go with the thorn instead. But here's a big topper shot. Max top spin and 1 bar side spin to the right. Add your spin. Yellow ring just inside the rough, the edge of it there, at plus 8 with the big top at level 5. Look at the second bounce, so you can see it's just aligned with the tree shadow. So if you've got a different club level, make sure you have a look at that as well with the spin added. Max plus 10, power 3. Then we go with a centre ball shot and try and hit perfect with the big topper because it doesn't have a very good accuracy rating. So perfect ball needed, bounces just before the end of the rough, and the top spin takes us nicely down here. You can get an erratic drive distance here. Sometimes you'll get an extra bit of a glitch roll, which will make the wedge easier. But if not, 374 yards is going to be absolutely fine. Now, because of the tailwind, I'm going to have to play this one with a different wedge adjustment. Can't use the Embringer school because I'm too far away. So instead, I go with a no spin shot, leaving the ball guide one green square short of the pin, but aiming at the hole with the Embringer or whatever wedge you have. And then the adjustment here is max plus 15. So I'm not checking club distance at all, but because I'm near max distance of the Embringer, I'm just going to play max numbers. But like I said, you can use the extra mile on the drive, you can go for a shorter drive and play with the thorn instead if you like. Easy eagle to be had. If you're playing a different method, of course, always recommended to try a token first because this is an important hole to drop. The other option is, of course, you go with a power 5 ball and bounce directly over the rough. Loads of ways to get your eagle on hole number 5. On hole number 6 here, I'm going to show you an aggressive shot to the green. So we need a berserker. Always check your wind strength and wind angle though when playing these, because with the aggressive send it shots, it is subject to small tweaks. 4.5 top spin, 2 left spin, stretch out to absolute max and have the ball guide pointing in the centre of the rock there in the snow. Rewind the video, have a little pause and check the position as well. Max plus 10 if you've got a more accurate driver than the extra mile, e.g. low level apocalypse or Thor's hammer. You can use that as well. You might need more push-up though, so check your club distance as well, pushing back up to max and going with 3/4 ball curl to the left. Then of course we want to hit perfect. If this shot isn't for you, then there are a couple of other routes you can take, but I wanted to be aggressive here because a nice drive here, clearing the rough, will roll onto the green and we're putting for the eagle. But make sure you check your wind angle yourself and also the wind strength. Depending on the club level you've got, you may need to make the odd tweak. But there is my aggressive line to the green on hole 6. Max plus 10, power 5. Back to the Oasis for hole 7. You're going to see a glitch roll on the drive. That is fairly common, but with the top spin I'm recommending, you should never really roll into the rough unless you are really unlucky or you make a slightly inaccurate adjustment. 4 top spin and 2 right spin with a Titan. Stretch out to have the second bounce, just beyond the rough up ahead, and look at how many rings you push into overpower. We adjust max plus 10, power 3, and then you push up the amount of rings you are stretching into the red. In my instance, I needed 1.8 rings, so I'm pushing up, need a little bit of overpower, so 3/4 of a ring into overpower. That's what I'm going to apply because I couldn't push up the right amount of rings. Extra mile 6 or 7 will need a little bit more overpower, but it's still a decent chance of hitting perfect. No curl, look at the tip of the needle when you're judging your overpower. We've got a tutorial on that on the Academy tutorial homepage if you want to look about measuring your overpower. We get that little glitch roll, 380 yards, but we're still nowhere near the rough if you use 4 topspin. Second shot is going to be a rough bump for the best chance. At the eagle, if you're not confident with that, then just bounce over instead. We're going to go with between 2.5 and 3 bars of backspin, depending on your drive outcome, and you want to have the inner yellow ring or the green ring touching the rough with the ball guide going through the hole. The reason I set up close to the rough is because we're going to adjust down that slope and it's going to cost us distance on the shot. So ball guide just through the hole, inner ring touching the rough, +4 with the sniper 9, that would be +2 with the sniper 10. I'm playing it 80% slider, 0 elevation, and with all of these adjustments in the video, I'm using sniper 10 numbers just to make that clear. Might be a 0.1 difference here and there, so try and use sniper 10 numbers if you can. Perfect ball away, and we drop it for an eagle on hole 7. Hole number 8 now, we are going to go on the right hand side due to the nasty wind angle. We're going to go 4.5 bars of topspin, and we're going to use a Titan with the extra mile and 1 bar side spin to the left. Then we're looking at the blue ring, half of the blue ring inside the rough, and with the extra mile 8 it is at the top of +7, extra mile 6 and 7 will be at the top of +9. Ball guide as shown. If you're using a different driver, if you've got an accurate driver with distance and topspin, you can set up with the extra mile and then switch to a more accurate driver if you wanted to. Max +10 here on the adjustment. Extra mile 6 and 7 may need a bit of overpower, so if you adjust into that due to wind angle, make sure you add that on to your shot. Perfect ball, and the ball is finding centre fairway very, very nicely. Drive distance, 336 yards. Now the second shot is going to be a fixed slider adjustment. So once you've done your drive, preset your slider to 12% and plug in -10% elevation and change to power 1 settings. Then you find your minimum distance line with the sniper, so make sure you've got the grizzly packed as your long iron, and then you're going to push up 5 rings from the minimum distance line. Once that is done, in line with the pin, you add spin as needed. In my case, it's going to be 1 bar of backspin, and then we zoom in, check the ball guide, and find that it is just before the front of the cup. So 5 rings up from the min line, spin as needed to get the tip of the ball guide just before the front of the cup. Then you're always going to adjust 12% on the slider, -10% elevation, power 1 settings. So it's a fixed adjustment because we're always going to push up that amount of rings from min, even if you have a shorter or longer drive, because then the spin varies, but we know that the club distance is always the same. Perfect ball away here, and this plays at -10% elevation because it's uphill, bouncing very nicely here, avoiding the glitch roll, and we get a very strange zoom in, but it falls nicely for the eagle. And finally on to hole 9, Nam Haycliffe's going to show you an approach here on the right hand side with the rock and the thorn. Of course, you can go aggressively if you want to go on that small fairway patch on the left. But a more conservative but consistent approach at max distance with the rock level 7 will be at +10 with the rock level 8. Spins as shown, we're aiming down the middle of the fairway. Look at the tip of the ball guide in the tree shadow area for reference, because there's no ring references to be had here because the fairway is so wide. 1-to-1 adjustment, so 6.8 wind is going to be 6.8 rings with the rock. We're going with a little bit of curl, as you can see to the left. Nice to be using the rock here for the ball guide and accuracy. Drive distance is going to be around 330 yards. Second shot with the thorn, we're going to do BFC, that stands for back fringe check. So you can have 0 elevation on your slider here, and then we're finding the bullseye over the fringe line where it meets the green, in line with the pin. +5 is the amount shown here with the thorn. That is going to be equal to 37% slider. The spins I'm using coming up on screen right now, 2 side spin to the right, and then half a bar of backspin, aiming at the pin, leaving the ball guide a little bit short. You'd have to go a little bit shorter than that with a lower level thorn due to the different stats that you have available. Then we're going to adjust here 37% on the slider, 0 elevation. It's 2% per yard difference on your back fringe check. And the final part of the equation here with the thorn, I'm pulling over the bullseye. It's important you do the same, otherwise your adjustment will be 0.1 off and you may miss. So make sure you find a consistent landing position using the right spin to get round any glitch spots. But if you are a bit wayward on your drive and you find that ball guide is glitching around, just vary the amount of side spin to get round any awkward spots. We drop it left side there. The slider value I've given on the notepad and in the commentary is a tweak, and that should get you right at the pin for an eagle to finish your round on hole number 9. Good luck everybody. Thanks for watching this video on the City Outskirts Tournament. I hope you found the content useful. Plenty more useful content to be had on our Facebook group as well. Over 10,000 members there. Search for BK Golf Clash and join. It is totally free, and there is a link to that group in the video description down below. Share your shots as well as enjoying the discussions and taking part in those on the group. Then please highlight some of your best shots. I'll be looking at them and I'll be showcasing the top 5 on my end of season 53 party stream, which is going to be Sunday, 23rd of October. Good luck in the tournament. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.